Welcome everybody. This is the Microsoft 365 and Power Platform community call happening every single Tuesday, 8 a.m. Pacific time with Microsoft speakers, with certain exceptions. We're going to talk about that one today. We do have some news for the summertime, which is great. So great idea, actually from Tommy Cullis from Solvion, who are we following up on this one. Anyway, today is April 15th. Spring is here if you're in Northern Hemisphere. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, hopefully you still have warm and all of that beautiful weather there as well. My name is Elsa Juvonen. I'm a Principal Product Manager in Microsoft, working in the community areas, and I'll be your host today. Now, today we'll go through a typical setup of the updates and links and assets which are available for you to get started in Microsoft 365 and Power Platform, recapping some of the news from Microsoft across all of the Microsoft blogs which are relevant within this section within the last week. And then we're going to do a group photo which get a picture in Teams. Hopefully that will be going really well today. It's been working pretty reliably recently, which is great. Now, and after that, we have the real stars of today, who are Ramakrishnan and Paolo. Ramakrishnan is going to first start with an overview of PowerCat tools. So what are they, how to get started, and all of that stuff. And then followed by Paolo Pialorsi on extending Microsoft 365 Copilot with Microsoft Copilot Studio. Super, super cool demos today. Both are looking really, really awesome. Kind of an idea on what they will be showing. So looking forward of seeing them. Now, quick recap. Not going to spend too much time on the intro slides. I'm trying to speed this section always, but we do have a lot of assets to get started on Microsoft 365 and Power Platform. Take advantage and subscribe on the Microsoft Community Learning videos channel. A lot of videos getting published there all the time, and we intentionally do provide you almost like too much videos, but that is kind of intentional. We don't want to optimize on the YouTube algorithms. We rather want to share when there's something to share and new videos available for you to take advantage. So subscribe over there. A lot of content there on a daily basis. We do have a LinkedIn page and group for discussions and updates. We do have a lot of open source assets. We do have sample galleries, which make it easy to find the open source samples for you. And everything is underneath from one URL or now two URLs. You can choose which one to use, AKMS Community Home or community.ms, which is the new domain, which is mapping to the same location as well. Now, we do have a lot of these community calls. You're in one of them, so you're kind of most likely familiar with these calls. This is the Microsoft 365 Power Platform Tuesday call on a weekly basis to Microsoft speakers. However, typically, within the past years, we've been keeping this call on a pause during July and August because we don't get that many Microsoft presenters during that time, and it would be hard to always kind of one promo or we need to cancel, and we don't want to actually do that. Now, for this summer, we have such a humongous demand for community demos across the hackathon submissions, everything else, so we're going to do a community takeover for this call, the Tuesday call, during July and August. So same invite, same call, same things. You will be routed to a community takeover session, and we will have community demos in this call. So that's happening between July and August on this Tuesday call. Typically, community demos would be in Power Platform monthly community call, which is, by the way, happening tomorrow. Really cool 3 demos over there. Or within our Thursday series, which is either Microsoft 365 and Power Platform community and Viva Connection SharePoint framework bi-weekly call as well. So during summertime, again, recapping on July and August, we have community demos in both Tuesday and also on Thursday, which is really, really cool. There's so much cool stuff already scheduled. And thank you for people volunteering on doing demos within this course. So that is really, really cool that we're doing that. And thank you already for people who are hosting those calls. It definitely won't be always me. We have multiple people signing up for the hosting of this course as well in the community site, which is awesome. Now, downloading of all of those community call invites at AKMS Community Calls, you can find all of our different calls and setups over there, and you can always see the agenda at the meetup service as well. We're looking into updating that also during summertime. So within week advance, you'll know who's going to show and what within next week. So you can kind of prioritize which call you want to actually take, what are the agenda entries and all of that. And the meetup service, by the way, if you subscribe there, you will get an email within your inbox. So you don't have to go to that service and double check advance whenever the stuff is getting published. Typically on Thursday previous week, we'll get you the updates on what's going to happen next week. So you're able to prioritize your time as needed. Now, as mentioned, a lot of these calls do welcome community demos. So, and they are really, really, really welcoming. So we want you to actually have that option to do this demo. So as we did have the Powerful Devs Hackathon and we did have the SharePoint Hackathon, we had a really kind of a tsunami almost of the volunteers, of people actually wanted to show what they built. And that's why we had that community takeover in July and August. Now, we still do welcome you to come there and do demos and do sign up for the demos. So if you have something, we have intentionally now then 2 different call sequences for community during summertime, so we're able to get you on this call still already at this moment. So if you're looking into like, hey, should I actually get scheduled something? Yes, but it will not be within 2 weeks, but we will get you scheduled as fast as possible if you fill in the form. Bit of a rush there, but it's a positive challenge, so to say. It's cool to see so many community members stepping up and showing what they built. Now, talking about showing up, learning of what to build on the Microsoft Cloud. There's a lot of stuff in learn.microsoft.com. Do take advantage of that one. A lot of learning modules and assets, we do keep them up to date on a quarterly basis, which is cool for both, of course, for M365 and Power Platform. We also have a lot of samples available. I haven't double checked the latest number on the samples for a while, but I think we're past already 2,300. So with the samples from the community and from the Microsoft in a one centralized location, really makes it easy to see what's happening there. As you then find a sample, it's in GitHub, or you might be wondering, hey, I want to contribute my sample as well. I want to get promoted and mentioned by Microsoft within this portal. You absolutely are welcome to do so. And we do have our Sharing is Caring initiative helping you to get started on this journey of contributing and getting involved within the community as well. And directly from LA Studios, David is going to talk about what is Sharing is Caring initiative.
Yes, Vesa, thank you. David is in LA today and is very, oh my goodness, everybody, I'm so excited. We've got another session scheduled for Sharing is Caring. It is coming up on May 12th. We're getting all the links and all the sign-up forms set up. So by the end of the day, it will be set up. And if you're thinking, well, heck, what is Sharing is Caring? Well, let me tell you, it's hands-on guidance for working with and contributing to the community. So if you want to contribute into these samples or other areas of the community, but you're not sure how that hub of gets, that GitHub hubs, that GitHub labyrinth works, we are going to work through it together. It's live, it's safe space, which means we do not record anything. So you're free to ask any and all questions that you want without fear of it going on record. We all know that sometimes we think, should I be asking this question? No one else is asking this question. Now I'm afraid to ask this question, so I'm not going to ask this question. It's a place to ask questions and learn together, and it counts as a contribution. So keep an eye out in the next day or so at aka.ms/sharingiscaring for that form and registration form to go live, and we'll see you there on May 12th. It's the week after the community conference in Vegas, so everybody will be jazzed and excited of all the new cool stuff they saw. But once you do contribute, we want to recognize you for the amazing work that you're doing. Our community recognition program is alive and well. It is powered by Credly, so all these badges are coming out that are official and accredited. Things like Prompt Pro, Snippet Sorcerer, which we Yes, that's right. And of course, the new Star Wars ones that are spanning the next 3 months. So lots of badges, lots of fun. We do want to have fun with them, but they are real and accredited. They show you're making a difference. So you can absolutely associate them to your LinkedIn profile, your blogs, your resumes. Show them to your clients. Show them to your managers. Why? Because it is a real, informal, and official way that you are making a difference in the community. You are impacting everyone else's life in an amazing way in this community space. So we thank you. It's absolutely free. We do need to opt in, ak.ms/community/recognition. And of course, if you come to the call on Thursday, you're going to hear about even more cooler badges with Copilot camps. So I'm sure Paolo may or may not talk about that a little bit today, but we got a lot of really cool initiatives going on right now. So thank you all for all that you're doing. Hope you're enjoying these initiatives and campaigns. We've got even more coming throughout the rest of the year. Vesa, back to you in the Finland studios.
Excellent. Thank you, LA and David. No, just kidding. Thank you, David, on that one. Really, really cool. And the badges are really, really awesome way of showcasing, like David was saying, that you are contributing in the open source and community for the benefit of others. So thank you for everybody being part of this beautiful community. Now, quick recap on all of the different events which are happening. So the next big one will be Microsoft 365 Community Conference at May 6th to 18th at Las Vegas MGM grand. I will be there. David will be. Hugo, Paolo will be there, and so on. A lot of, and of course Jeff Deeper and a lot of Microsoft leaders will be there as well to show you the latest and greatest across Microsoft 365, including Copilot Studio and AI and agents and SharePoint and Teams and many other things as well. So have a look on Microsoft M365conf.com. Now, after that, we'll have the Build event happening in both in Seattle and online in May 19th to 22nd. See more on that one in build.microsoft.com. Followed on that one, we have then the ECS, European Collaboration Summit 2025, happening in Düsseldorf, which is actually 3 conferences and targeted to be in 3,000 attendees together with European AI Cloud Summit and European BSAT Summit. Many of us will be in this conference as well. And then we have TechCon 365 happening in Seattle, Atlanta, and Dallas. A lot of the community members and MVPs and Microsoft people will be in these as well, starting from Seattle from June 23rd to 27th, and then Atlanta and Dallas later this year. And then in October, we have the Power Platform Community Conference happening in Las Vegas. You can already sign up and register there as well if that is your thing where you want to go. Las Vegas is always a nice city to drop by and actually meet other people in the community. It's definitely not cold, which is a preference, at least for me. Now, then we have IgniteMicrosoft.com coming up in San Francisco in mid-November. There's not much details about this one yet, but you will see more update at IgniteMicrosoft.com. And then we have the last but not least bigger conference happening this year, SharePoint Europe. ESBC Dublin 2025 at 1st to 4th of December 2025. So currently there is a super early bird ticket sale available for that one. On top of these things, there's a lot of other conferences as well. You should go to communitydays.org to see the full list of all of the different conferences which are happening all around the world, across France, US, Oslo, Norway, Las Vegas, and so on. Or everything is listed in here, just to make sure that you're up to date on all of the different opportunities to engage with the community. Now, quick recap on all of the news and updates within the last week. Well, there was quite a few news on different areas and different updates. We'll get the links in the chat. Thank you, David, on that one. And really cool stuff also on Power Platform side, agentic automation with bidirectional integration between M365 Copilot Studio and UiPath. That's actually really interesting. And identify your readiness for AI-first deployment with agents and Microsoft 365 Power Platform, and a lot of stuff in M365 as well. So there's a list of links in the chat if you're interested on checking out if it's relevant for your role. Now, before we go to the schedule mode picture and the real stars of today, we also wanted to remind you on our Copilot prompts initiative, where we are collecting different kind of Copilot prompts for everybody to benefit. So these are basically prompts which people are using on a day-to-day basis with Copilot, which helps to understand what the Copilot can actually do for you. And the prompt of the week this week is coming from Steve Corey. Really awesome example on how we can actually use Copilot on email prioritization. So rather than going through all of the different things within the email, you can actually use the Copilot to give you a reference point, the most important emails, and then focus on those, and then go to all of the extra emails. At least in my case, Microsoft is unfortunately quite email-driven still, so I get way too many emails. So this kind of a really good example of prioritizing my time for the benefit, or saving my time by using the Copilot and showing me what is the most important email. So really cool example. Thank you, Steve Corey, on that one. Then next, it is time to go to the schedule mode picture. So let me actually move in here. Let's do this properly. We do only have two demos today, which means that we do have a bit of time of waiting for everybody to get in. I'm switching the view, and I do want to switch the scene, so we're in a more beautiful thing. Hopefully we'll get it a bit more crisp today. There we go. Now it's almost pixel perfect, looking really good. And we are in the auditorium layout. There we go. So if you're interested on being part of this, please enable your camera, and let's see. Hopefully we don't have a technical challenges too much today on this stuff. We do have 50 seats in the room. We'll grab a GIF animation out of this and share that in the social media. Hopefully things are working again. Every now and then when people are enabling their camera, they might not actually land on this picture, but we do want to give you a bit of more time actually getting here. A lot of familiar faces already there. Let's wait a few more seconds. We have 50 seats in the room, We have more than 215 people right now currently in the call. So we do have a lot of opportunities for people to actually get in. Crossing fingers. Maybe there's a camera issues. Maybe we will do actually this with these people. Yes, we might have a small bugs and delays on getting people in. It's all good. Now I will actually then things happen and it might be actually let's not wait too long, but it seems to be taking a bit longer today on getting all of the people visible. But let me put the recording on and let's do capture with those people who were able to come here. Thank you everybody for joining. I can see Steve Corey in the front row. Steve, smile. There we go. You provided the prompt of the week. Excellent. Excellent. We'll grab a GIF animation out of that. Thank you for taking advantage of that one. Really, really cool. And I do apologize for those who enabled the camera but couldn't get in. There has been some technical challenges, unfortunately, on that one a bit recently. Hopefully, we will get all of that sorted out sooner or later. But then it is time to go to the actual demos of today. And we'll start with Ramakrishnan, and then on the overview of PowerCat tools, and then we move to Paolo on Copilot Studio example with Microsoft 365 Copilot. But Ramakrishnan, I saw you on a call. Audio was good. You can take over the presentation.
Thank you, Visa. Thank you, community, for the opportunity to present the PowerCat tools and overview. I hope everyone is able to see my screen. Just a quick check.
All good. All good. Take it away.
Thank you. So hello everyone. Welcome to the session on PowerCat tools and overview. I'm delighted to be here. I want to start the presentation with a problem. Imagine you have just inherited a complex Power Platform solution, which may have 10 flows, 3 Canvas app, and an agent. And guess what? There is no documentation, no notes, no clue where to start enhancing the solution. Or maybe you are reviewing a partner-delivered solution. You're opening each flow, clicking through each and every screen of a Canvas app, tracing the logic of each PowerFX expression. And this takes hours or maybe days. Now, how many of you have spent over an hour just understanding a solution before even making a change? Research says that on an average, to understand a basic to intermediate level complex solution, it roughly takes 4 to 8 hours. And for a highly complex solution, it may even take 3 hours to a week. But what if? What if there is a way? Instantly review a Power Platform solution based on a best practices, and also instantly generate a professional level solution document in just a few clicks. Before heading over to the demo, I just want to reiterate the problem and the potential solution that we may have for this. So today, let's start with reviews of our platform solution. We manually review each and every solution, which may involve opening each artifact individually, manually comparing it with best practices, copy pasting details into the document, repeating this across multiple environments. Now imagine you could upload a solution in a tool and instantly get back a breakdown of each and every solution component that it has, like Canvas app, flows, and agents. You could easily grab and understand the violation against best practices and patterns, and even get a quality score in a detailed summary manner. The benefits: time saved from hours to minutes. Consistency enforces standardized patterns and rules. Automation, as you could run this in a Power Platform pipelines and even via agents. Now let's see a demo. So today we are going to explore 2 features from this PowerCat tools that can transform how you review and document a Power Platform solution. First, we will see an automated way of reviewing a Power Platform solution. Let's head over to a demo, shall we? So as soon as you install a PowerCat solution, which is a solution that is built on top of Power Platform, available through App Source and even via manual installation, you will be greeted with a home screen that has multiple features that it has to offer. Today, we will be focusing on the code review tool and the AI solution documentation. When we click on code review tool, we would redirect it to a particular subpage where we could see an existing set of reviews and apps. For this one, I will pick a particular environment where I can initiate a review by clicking on new review. And I could give a name to uniquely identify this review or later references. So let's say I'll give a sample name for this for now. And I have an option where I can pick a solution that has already been imported on the same environment where this PowerCAD tool exists. And there is a limitation where you could only pick an unmanaged solution, not a managed one, since the platform has a limitation where you cannot export a managed solution. So the same applies for this tool too. However, if you have a managed solution as well, you could pick the second option where you could upload a zip file. I'll pick the same option and pick a project X solution, which consists a Canvas app, a bunch of flows, and also an agent. I'll click on save, and this may take a couple of seconds to a minute, depending upon the complexity of the solution. So instead of waiting for a couple of seconds, I'll head over to another tab. Okay, so I hope I would be able to get a solution back because I don't have another tab open with the review results, but this may take a couple of seconds. So yeah, it has reverted back with listing the list of solution component that exist in the given solution, which is for project X. I can see there was a Canvas app, which has scored pretty low in terms of reviewing, and also an agent and a bunch of Power Automate. So first I'll head over to the Power Apps and see where exactly was the pattern that were not following the best practices. In order to do that, I'll click on review, which will give me a detailed description of the list of patterns that has ran against the given Canvas app. And I can see that there are a bunch of patterns that has been noted that has not fulfilled by this Canvas app. So at this point, I am interested in a particular pattern, which is nested filters. And based on the description, I can understand what this pattern is all about. So let me click on this details option and see what exactly is this pattern all about. So this says that consider simplifying nested formulas within the search and filter operation, which is the PowerFX expression that is being used in this Canvas app. And it has been advised that avoid nesting the two operations, which is search and filter together, so that it would be more compact and concise formula, and it will be a performance improvement. And there is a bunch of recommendation as well onto what exact changes that can be done in order to improve this particular situation. And under that, there is a code view which lists down all the instances which has been noted that has violated or not followed the best practices. I could see there is a filter under filter, which is a nested filter. And there is a list of screens, an element, and the property which is mapped to a particular element. And each of them, there are 20 instances where these have been not following the best practices, and it gives back respective information on what can be those improvements that can be made. And similarly, I can go through the rest of the screens and see the particular element on the screen and see the respective property where the PowerFX expression has been written, and identify which are all the sections that can be where there can be improvement that can be made. So now I'll head over back, and I'll also like to highlight one other feature that this particular tool has to offer, which is the source code view. As soon as I click on the source code view, I could actually see all the source code behind the scene of the screen in Canvas app, because each screen now there is a YAML representation of each screen that are built within the Canvas app. So I could basically see all the source code and even build experience by copying the source code into a new Canvas app as well. But that is not the area of interest for now in terms of reviewing, but just thought to highlight this additional feature. And you could always export this review as a PDF so that you can share with other members who might be the actual developers of this Canvas app, and they can take necessary action on your behalf. I'll head back to the previous screen, and I'll also have a look into the agents, which has scored 30%. And when I click on the details, I could see that most of the patterns that have failed are more relevant to the phrases that has been used in the topics. So, and if I have to pick one, which is the trigger phrase count, I could see that there are 5 to 10 trigger phrases, which has, like, each topic should have 5 to 10 trigger phrases. And at this point, there is less than 5 trigger phrases for each of the topic that has been noted. So all these conversations start end of conversation, end of convo topic, fallback issues. So these are the topics that have been noted, which doesn't have a necessary or the bare minimum set of trigger phrases. And if I have to learn more about this, there is a link which would redirect me to the official Learn doc, which would help me understand what are the list of trigger phrases that I can make use of, and what are the best practices that I need to follow in order for the trigger phrases to make the best use of when it comes to the topic of agents. And I'll head over back to the main screen and also delve into the Power Automate, which has also been evaluated as part of the solution. And I'll pick one of the Power Automate, which has also scored a bit low. And as you can see, apart from the patterns which are failed and passed, there are a few patterns which has been marked as warning. Considering these patterns are opinionated and some people may or may not agree with the pattern that it should have been passed, these patterns have been made configurable under the hood. So all these patterns resides in the table, and you have the ability to mark the patterns to warnings as well. And this enhances the score to 0.5. All the patterns which has passed will be scored as 1, and everything will be converted into percentages. And you also have a review at glance where you can see how many list of patterns have failed, passed, or marked as warning. So when it comes to Power Automate, you could see that there are a bunch of static variables which has been initialized but were never updated. So it means that it might not have been used well enough. So the recommendation, again, there is a link in there which will lead me to the Power Automate guidance, which will allow me to understand what else can I do in terms of creating a variable. So this guides me that I can also make use of compose action. So this would allow me to understand what are the next best action that I could take. And this will also give me a debug information, which will highlight what was that particular variable which was initiated but was never used. And in terms of the review tool, at this point, these three are the solution components that are evaluated. We are constantly trying to figure out whether we could incorporate Power Pages and AI Builder as part of this suite. And it is all subject to feasibility. And now we'll head back to the decks and see the next set of offerings that we have in the PowerCat tools. And we'll head over to another demo. So with that, I'll pick the right slides for me. So PowerCat Tools not only has the review tool and AI solution docs, it also has other features which are useful like risk assessment, plugin monitoring tool, and API playground, which helps makers streamline Power Platform development, helping implement coding and maintenance best practices, provided as convenient enterprise-grade quality tools. Now, I can understand this is an M365 community, and there could be questions around what is PowerCat? What is PowerCat tools? Is it a product or is it a team? Never heard about this before. There could be cases around that too. So what is it? So happy to introduce myself. Ramakrishnan. I'm a software engineer at Microsoft, part of PowerCat team. Again, a recovering consultant, just like Vesa, still trying to be. I was part of the M365 side of the house and the global delivery side of Microsoft, working on modern work. I've been closely involved in building these experiences in PowerCat tools that help makers and admins scale confidently on the Power Platform. Now, PowerCat stands for Power Platform Customer Advisory Team. We work directly with some of the world's largest and most complex customers, building tools and patterns and guidance to help scale their adoption of Power Platform. These tools, like the ones that we are seeing right now, are often born from real-world needs and are often open-sourced for the community, like Creator Kit, for example. We also aim to influence the platform and become voice of the customer and the community. And if you want to know more, there is a link, which is aka.ms/whoisPowerCat. Moving on back to the topic. So this is a reference architectural flow of how the Power Platform review tool has been built. Again, everything is within the boundaries of Power Platform, where a solution maker, an app maker, or an admin, or a solution architect would head over to the particular tool, open the form, upload the solution, And under the hood, there is an NPM package, which is Power Platform-review-tool, which we have been internally using for this. And this is an in-house tool, which is just yet to be promoted as an official tool. But this is being consumed by one of the PCF, which would extract the details out of a given solution zip file. And there is a predefined rules and patterns that we have noted across the industry that has been set as a standard from, and we can also refer the official document link of related to that. And based on that, the extracted details along with the individual component, a respective score is also being provided, and it's been stored in the Dataverse, including the reviews and each corresponding metadata. Like I said, Power Apps, Power Automate, and agents are the ones that it supports as of today. Power Pages and AI Builder will follow the suit, subject to feasibility. Now, looking into the second problem, which is the AI solution documentation. Now, how many of your solutions are not documented at all? Documented once, never updated, documented manually after go live. Like a general tenure of Power Platform solution once built could be more than 5 years. As a requirement scales, so does the solution. Between this, developers, partners, and vendors, and in fact, the whole ecosystem around the Power Platform changes. At that point, it becomes far more important to have a documentation that explains at least briefly what the solution is all about, so that you take necessary action to enhance or extend it. So even myself at PowerCat have heard from one of our high-touch customers that they have spent days and weeks to manually create notes because the document were not there in the first place, hence spending the time or a lot of energy, cost, and resources for this requirement. So what if we have a tool that could analyze your Power Platform solution and generate a clean structure, beautifully formatted document? So AI solution documentation leverages generative AI to do just that. So it outputs an overview, a summary, the screens, it describes the app, the list of screen that it exists, the custom controls, the PCF that have been used, plugins. It summarizes any Power Automate that exists in the solution. It even defines the entity relationship between the table that exists in the solution. And ultimately, it gives you an option to export the document in Markdown, Word, or in a PDF format, all in just minutes. So that leads us to demo 2 of this session. So I'll head back to the PowerCat tools, and this is the second option, which is the AI solution documentation. As I click through it, I get an option to initiate or generate a document. The user experience or the user flow is pretty much same what we have for review tool. I get an option to pick a solution for this. For the sake of this demo, I'll upload a given Power Platform solution, and this would be the vacation day management, and I'll hit generate. At this point, again, behind the scene, there is a PCF which extracts the details out of the solution zip file. It reads the Canvas app, flows, and any details that exist in it. And it tries to generate a document for it. So it takes minutes, sometimes seconds, depend upon the complexity of the solution, list of solution component that exist in the solution. And once that has been generated, the experience is built in a way that it would resemble Word online experience. Of course, it doesn't match the fidelity of it, but inside the Power Platform, I believe this is an approach which we could take. And as you can see, it has generated an overview, all by generative AI. It has given a solution detail section. It also generated a solution diagram. Right now, it only has one app, but considering if it would have had multiple Canvas app, all would have been listed down. It has also provided a description of the app and individual screens as well. And it has also generated the list of tables, the fields that exist. It has drawn an entity relationship diagram between the tables that were part of the solution. It has generated the summary. Having said that, if it would have had more information like the Power Automate, everything would have been listed. At this point, it lists down the AI models, plugins, and every other solution component that can exist in a solution would be documented. And here you have an option where you could easily traverse through multiple sections of the document. If the document is large enough, you can zoom in and zoom out. You can trim down the document. Let's say if you don't want the summary of a given solution, you can trim down the document. You have an option where you can export to PDF, export to Markdown, and even export to Word. So everything is done in minutes, and we hope that this would be helpful for some of the customers in the community for the solution that doesn't have document till date. And you can always enhance the document after you have generated the document, and this could be the starting step of creating the document as a first step. Now I'll head back to the slides again and cover up what we have in the AI solution documentation. So we generated the document at this point, the Power Apps, screens, custom controls, plugins. These are captured. Power Automate, the list of triggers and actions is also being captured. And along with that, we also capture the business logic, tables, relationships, security roles, AI models. We also capture the prerequisites. So behind the scene, when we extract the details out of the solution, we use the custom prompts that help generate the screen description. And based on the combination of all the screen description, we generate a meaningful app description. And similarly, the description of flows are also generated. And similarly, an overview and summary of the solution is also being generated. The prerequisite for this tool is you should have system customizer security role as the bare minimum, because there are, to get the maximum benefit of this PowerCat tool, there are instances where you would need to analyze security roles. So you should have this role as a bare minimum. There should be AI Builder prompts enabled in the admin center. You need to have a required amount of AI Builder credits for the custom prompts to work. And you would also need to install Creator Kit as a prerequisite. This is not required when you are installing this via app source, as this would be done automatically for you. Just a quick recap. In the AI solution documentation, we have Power Apps, Power Automate, Dataverse, AI Builder. Formatting features are comprehensive overview, AI's generated descriptions, solution diagram. The output format, again, you get an option to choose based on your requirement. You get to export in Markdown, Word, PDF. And how to get started, you can head over to aka.ms/PowerCat-tools. You can scan the badge if needed, take a screenshot of this. Please log any issues as this link will redirect you to a GitHub repository. You can you can reach out to me in LinkedIn or directly reach out to me by other social media channels too. So with that, big thank you to all of you for staying with me till the end. I really grateful for the opportunity, Visa and the community. Thanks a lot.
Excellent. Thank you, Ramakrishnan. Really, really cool job. Great job on showcasing things. A lot of great features. Awesome stuff. So thank you for that one. Awesome. Right on schedule as well. This is really great. Paolo, I can see you sharing the screen. You have 20 minutes. I think we're good.
Yeah, we are. So thank you. And today we are going to see how we can extend Microsoft 365 Copilot chat with Microsoft Copilot Studio. And the content we are going to see today is part of the Copilot Developer Camp, which is a set of training materials and videos that you can use to learn how to extend Microsoft 365 Copilot with different technologies, pro code, low code, and all of the options available. aka.ms/Copilot.camp is the URL where you can find additional content and all the training material. And just to give you an idea, we cover in that training material different areas, whether you are a developer with a pro code approach or whether you are a maker with a low code or no code approach. We will get you covered. And today we are in the area of Copilot Studio and MCS. which is the pathway where you can learn how to extend Copilot with the Microsoft Copilot Studio. We also released a video with 23 labs in 14 minutes, basically. So we give you an overview of all of the pathways so that you can make a choice about what you want to dig into. And of course, we encourage you to dig into everything. And as such, we also encourage you to complete all of the learning pathways so that you can earn a badge for each of them. Right now, we have the make, the extend, and the build path. And if you will complete all of them, you will also get the Path Master. And if you will also provide a sample to the community to show that you learned a bunch of stuff, you will become a sample sensei. And this is an initiative which will end the 20th of May, and it will target just the very first 200 community members. So make it happen, learn, go to the labs, and have fun learning about how to extend Copilot. But now let's move to the actual demo of today. And as such, I'm moving to my demo environment to show you what I'm going to talk about. So today we are creating extensions for Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat using Copilot Studio. And when we want to do that in the Copilot Dev Camp, we have a specific lab, which is the number 4, MCH4, where you can find all of the detailed instructions that you can follow to extend your own Copilot Chat. Now, what I'm going to do is to do it from scratch together with you. And we are going to see two different options. One is the one based on creating a so-called declarative agent. So an agent that can easily extend the Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat with a set of predefined functionalities. In order to do that, you simply need to go to the agent section of Copilot Studio. And from there, you select Copilot for Microsoft 365. Here you can create as many agents as you like. Here I have already one that I created before, but I'm now going to create a new one from scratch. You click on Add, and you provide either using a conversational approach or just by configuring the settings of your agent, you are going to define what the agent will do. So here with the conversational model, I can simply specify, for example, that this is an agent helping employees to find information about HR policies and procedures and about how to improve their career and define their learning pathways. This is the basic set of instruction for my agent. And my agent will also need to have a name, so could be community HR, just for the sake of providing a name. And I can also eventually provide additional information about how the agent should behave. So for example, I can say that I want to emphasize everything which is about building inclusion and growth mindset, and so on and so forth. And I can provide step-by-step all of the information to build the identity of my agent. And once I'm done with that, I can simply click on the Create button and get my agent created. It takes a while, and I will get back the UI of an agent in Copilot Studio with just the functionalities that we can have in a declarative agent for Microsoft 365 Copilot. So in a matter of few seconds, you will see the output, and we will see that we can recognize the definition and the instructions for the agent that I created, as well as a set of actions if I want to add any action, and a set of knowledge base. So here we have the agent, we have the description and the instruction for the LLM model that we are using undercover. We can define a knowledge base. And so, for example, here I have a document library with a set of documents about HR, and I want to use that document library as the knowledge base. So I add a SharePoint knowledge base, I browse for files, or I can simply copy and paste the URL of the site. And when I browse for files, I can select, for example, the target library that I want to use, which is the one I just showed you. I confirm the selection, and I add this knowledge base to my agent. And simply by doing that, I will be able to run this agent inside Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. As you can see, I can choose if I want to also rely on external content on the web or not. And I can refine the starter prompt that got already pre-generated using AI by the Microsoft Copilot Studio engine. Now I can click on the Publish button, and I will make my agent available in the Copilot Chat and in Teams. Of course, I can, again, refine the descriptions and the URLs right here. Right now, just for the sake of saving some time, I'm just publishing the agent as it is. And after a few more seconds, we will be able to get access to our agent, as I said, both in Teams as a bot-like agent and in the Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. As I told you before, the agents can also be enriched using actions so that we can consume data and APIs from external services through Power Platform connectors, as I will show you shortly in the upcoming section of this demo. It should be almost there, so bear with me and wait a few more seconds, and we should be able to see the agent in action, both in Teams and in Copilot chat. So let's see if it gets there. Almost there, hopefully, and then we can play with it. Unfortunately, I cannot control this time, and in a demo with a tight schedule, we always need to wait, which is a pity. But let's see if it will come up. Come on, we're all waiting for you. And in the meantime, I can eventually open another Copilot Studio window and show you the other agent, just for the sake of saving some time in the meantime. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, hopefully this one will come. Well, this one is ready, so we can go back to the previous one, and I'll come back to the additional demo later. Let me just copy the link to get access to my agent, and what I can do now, I can show you that it has been published in Teams and Copilot, and I can open a new tab and use the URL that I just copied to actually add this agent to my target environment. So by doing that, I can select the add button, and I can add, as I said, this agent both to Teams and to Copilot, Microsoft 365 Copilot chat. By adding the agent, it will create and register all the needed stuff in both of the environments. And now I am in Microsoft 365 Copilot chat, and I can refresh the list of agents and being able to see that we have our community HR available right here in our environment. So I can, for example, provide a prompt like, how can I hire new people in my company or in our company? And by doing that, I'm triggering the behavior of my agent based on the instructions that I provided, and I can get back information, including references to documents that I have in my document library. And that's already really cool, in my opinion. And as you can see here, we have the reference to the documents in SharePoint Online. But as I said, we can do more. For example, we can create still such kind of agents using Copilot Studio, but providing additional behavior, like, for example, here where we have an agentic HR that I still created, as I was telling you, in Copilot Studio. Let me switch to the right environment, and let me show you what we have inside that agent. Let me go to the agents again, and let me go to Copilot for Microsoft 365. And here we have the agentic HR that I was showing you a few seconds ago. In this one, I still have the same knowledge base as before, but I also created a couple of actions related to external connectors that I have in the Power Platform. For example, here I have a connection to an Excel file that is stored in SharePoint Online, and which provides information about an hypothetical list of candidates that I want to interview for a job role. Wonderful. So now let's say that I want to interact with this agent. What I can do is simply trigger the behavior of this agent, providing prompt like, for example, show me the list of candidates for HR with role HR director or HR manager. By doing that, I'm going to trigger this agent to consume an external API, the Excel Online API. I will need to allow this agent to connect to the external API, and I will be able to get back from the Excel spreadsheet only those candidates who are matching the search criteria of being HR director or HR manager. And we can validate this rule simply by opening the Excel file one more time, and we can see that we have some HR manager and HR directors in my Excel file. This is really cool. But again, we can do more. What if we want to create what we usually call a custom engine agent still using Copilot Studio? Well, we can go back to the home of Copilot Studio, and we can go to agents and create a new agent. This time, I'm going to create an agent almost like before, but I'm going to add additional capability to this agent. So again, let me use the same description. Let me use a different name, which could be, for example, because I'm a developer, community HR 2, because as I said, I'm a developer, I have no fantasy. So this will be the name of my agent. I can still provide instructions and hints to behave properly, and, for example, information about how it should behave and should talk with the user. And once I've done with that, I can create my agent as like as before. But this time, I'm creating an agent with the whole set of capabilities available in Copilot Studio, which means that, for example, we can also create not only actions, but also topics. So again, here, let me show you how I created the action to consume the external Excel spreadsheet. So for the sake of making an example, let me add a new action which will consume a list of rows present in a table in my Excel file. And by doing that, I will also provide a set of settings for this action. And of course, first of all, I need to connect to Excel Online to benefit of this capability. So the name of the action will be list HR candidates, and the description will be, for example, list candidates for an HR role. I can add this action. And by editing the action, actually, I can even do that from this UI, I can configure the input arguments for this action, which is actually based on a Power Platform connector for Excel. So what I want to do is to provide the location of the site where I want to get the file from, and this will be the URL of my site. I can choose to configure manually the document library, which is the library of candidates in my target site. I want to provide the name of the Excel file that I want to use to read all of the candidates, and I want to manually provide the name of the table that I want to use to read all of the candidates, which is automatically pre-populated by Copilot Studio. I can save this action, and I'm going to use this action together with a topic that I'm going to create right now with you in order to create a really nice experience in Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. So let me switch to topics, and let me also create a topic. But before doing that, let me enable the generative orchestration for this agent, which means that the agent will be able to rely on GenAI to better understand the prompts provided by the user with natural language and to identify the target topics and actions to trigger. So let me now create from blank a new topic for this agent. And for example, the description of this topic will be the following one. This topic allows to add a new candidate for a new position and targets HR employees. It can be triggered with sentences like register a new candidate, add a new candidate, create a new candidate, and so on and so forth. And what I want to do in this topic is actually to collect the information about the user, about the candidate, using an adaptive card. So I'm going to add an ask with adaptive card action. And I'm going to provide the JSON of the adaptive card in the settings of this action. You will find all of the source code in the Copilot Dev Camp, so I don't need to dig into any detail of the actual file structure. But basically, this is the JSON of an adaptive card to collect these three strings and a multi-choice field to get the skills of the user and to submit the content. By submitting the content, in the topic in which we are, we have automatically generated a few variables that we can use to collect and process the input provided by the user. And what we are going to do to process the input is to invoke an external action, which will rely on a Power Automate flow that I created. And in this Power Automate flow, I'm going to add a new row to the Excel spreadsheet that I showed you before. So the first name of the candidate will be taken from the variable that I have in my topic, and the same applies for the last name and for the role. But now we can also process the list of skills, which is actually a multi-choice field. So here we need to apply a formula, and the formula will say that we want to concatenate all of the values of the skill field with a comma in between, and we want to have it converted to text. By doing that, we're going to trigger a flow in Power Automate, which will actually insert a row in the flow, in the spreadsheet, sorry. Then we can also say that we are done with our topic, so we want to send a message to the user, and the message will be that the new candidate was successfully added. Then we can end the topic and we say end current topic. And that's it. We can save this topic and we can say that it will be register a new candidate. This will be the name of my newly created topic. Now I have an agent with topics, with actions, with rich capabilities. And what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to publish this agent and to make it available in Copilot chat. So let me switch back to the agent right now by doing this. And I will be able to publish my agent. So let's do that right now. Hit on publish. Wait a few seconds to get the agent published in the environment where I am. And once I'm done with the initial publishing, we can go to the channel sections and we can enable the channel for Teams and Microsoft 365 Copilot chat. And we are almost there. We are almost closer to the end of this demo. So matter of few seconds to wait for the publishing to happen. We should be almost there. And as I said, once we are done, we can go to channels. We can select Teams plus Microsoft 365. And in here, we can choose to make this agent available also in Microsoft 365 Copilot chat. By doing that, and by clicking on Add Channel, we can wait a few seconds, and we will need to publish the agent again. This is a requirement. So you publish the agent, you enable the Teams and Microsoft 365 channel, you publish the agent one more time. And once you are done with that, you can get access to the agent through both Teams and Microsoft 365 Copilot chat. And what I'm going to show you is the experience in the Copilot chat. So again, few more seconds to wait, and then we will be ready to play with our agent inside Microsoft 365 Copilot. And this will behave like a custom engine agent in the Copilot chat experience. So let me go back to the channel. We can see that it has been published. We can select availability options and we can copy the link as we did before. But now let me paste this new link. I want to stay in the web experience and I'll be able to add this community HR2 agent to both Teams and Microsoft 365 Copilot chat. The Teams experience will be the one of a bot-like agent. So by clicking open, you will be brought to this experience and the agent is going to give me a welcome message. And if I will switch to the Copilot chat experience and I will start from scratch, let me refresh this page, we should be able to see that we have our community HR2 agent. Now, the interesting part is that I can trigger the add new candidate command, for example, topic, sorry. And by doing that, this prompt will actually activate my agent and the agent will provide me back the adaptive card to collect the information about the candidate I want to add. So the candidate could be myself, just for the sake of simplicity. And I would be an HR manager for the sake of making an example. And I am a project manager and a team lead. By clicking on the submit button, now we need to connect to the connector we want to use. So the connector will be, and we need to click to select connect, will be Excel Online and will be the Power Platform one. So let's connect to the first one. And here we are. And we need to submit the connection request. And then let's connect to Excel also through the Power Automate flow right here, still by clicking on the submit button. Now that I'm done with both of the connections, almost done, we can go back to Copilot and we can retry. Every now and then, when you do the connection and you are too fast in retrying, it will give you an exception. If that will be the case, we can simply refresh the page and try again. Let's see what happens. And if not, and it worked actually, so I was not that fast, I was able to register my new candidate. And as such, if I go back and make a prompt to get the list of candidates in HR director or HR manager role, I will be able to get back myself in that list. And I can also show you that because in the Excel file now I have a new row with my name and with my role. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this demo and you learned something useful. Thank you for listening, and back to you, Vesa.
Excellent. Thank you, Paolo, on that one. Right on time. We will close the call within upcoming minute, and we'll be closing on the hour. So really, really cool. Thank you, Ramakrishnan. Thank you, Paolo. Awesome demos today. Thank you for following up on the schedule and everything. It was perfect. A lot of cool stuff shown also for all of the attendees. Now, next week, we do have 3 different demos on 22nd of April. So Bob is going to talk about as a recording, because Bob is actually retired, as an enhancer declarative agents at adapted cards. April, Dunham, and David are back on using and contributing on Power Platform snippets. They did do a story on that one last week. And then Pooja and myself, I'm going to talk about extending dashboards and cards across SharePoint. So if you're familiar with Viva Connection dashboard, that is now starting to roll out within the SharePoint, and you can put it in any SharePoint site. And we're going to talk about that one with Pooja on next Tuesday with live demos as well. So really, really cool stuff for all of the end users and administrators and developers and extensibility on that side as well. In the meanwhile, we do have our Discord server, which is one of the options to engage with other people in the community. If you're interested and you spend time in Discord, you can definitely join there as well, AKMS Community Discord. In general, we are always looking for feedback, ideas, and what you think about the demos, and if there are ways to us to improve, or in general, if you're happy with the demos and community calls, tell us that as well. That helps on us to keeping these calls ongoing also in the future. Now, the recording will be available within 24 hours at the Microsoft Community Learning YouTube channel. Subscribe today, you will get notified when that's happening, and then we'll share the updates within LinkedIn, Blue Sky, and Twitter X as we roll out new things. But again, the next call will be on April 22nd on this series. This week, we'll still have Power Platform monthly community call, and then Viva Connection SharePoint Framework community call on Thursday. So you can always look up on all of the available community calls at AKMS Community Calls URL. But that's it for now. Have a great rest of the week, and let's stay in touch. Thank you, everybody. Cheers. Bye-bye.